Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the association to invite me here. My topic is a little bit different with the other speakers. So I am proceeding from the nationalities to talk about the wood culture. Since last year, still in the same room after attending the meeting last year, and the chairman just asked me to come here again next year. So I'm here now, and through the accumulation of knowledge, I come here for the second time. So since I am Zhuang people instead of the Han nationality, so I'd like to brief you about the situation of the wood here. So what I am going to talk will be different with your expectation. I hope you give me some feedback. Thank you. We know Zhuang is a kind of nationality with the largest population in China, and we have some connection with the nationality from Laos, and also a nationality from Thailand. Actually, we are the aboriginal. We are agreed in common, and we share the same original ancestors. So that's why this question, the title is very important against this job. So I'd like to give you the report following the three threads. First, Zhuang region. I'd like to say something about the commonly used wood material in Zhuang. The first is chun. This material is very upright, very rigid, very hard. In Zhuang Autonomous Region, it's being used to make some utensils and applications. For example, especially the body. The body is edible. And also, this is a famous cuisine with the budding of chun with eggs, with fried eggs. Yu wood, another category of wood, and also it's quite hard in its texture. This is a very good material. We know shadok. Actually, this is a kind of fruit. Shadok is widely used in our life, and we always use it. For example, when women are giving birth, they will use the branch to decorate the door to show that I am going to have a baby, or I have delivered a baby already. And also, this is of cultural intention, cultural concept. And also, people just coming home from far away places, they will use the leaf. They will use the leaf of the shadok to wash their hands. And we think, I just tell you, the fruit can be eaten, and the fruit and everything of it can be useful. And also for the texture is very difficult. to deal with, so it's seldom used in woodcrafts for furniture. However, this is a common ingredient for dyeing. We know that hua mi, a kind of flour rice, a kind of specialty in Zhuang Autonomous Region. This is a very good ingredient. Zhuang is also commonly seen in Zhuang Autonomous Region because it has a long term to grow. It's very difficult to attain it, and it's used for making beds and other furnitures. Another is shang, also a kind of category of wood. It is our indigenous wood material. It is not an indigenous product, and we absorbed it from other provinces, and mainly they are supplied to the market as the mainstay. In Zhuang Autonomous Region, on farms, we produce these poplars. We produce this kind of tree, eucalyptus, to make pulp for paper making. Jinzhou, Beihai, and also Pingxiang, everywhere we could see many eucalyptus, and they are adopted. Pine trees. Pine trees are often seen in Zhuang Autonomous Region. They are mainly used for woodcraftsmanship, to make beds. Bamboo trees are often used in Zhuang Autonomous Region in our daily life. For example, for the mesh, for some utensils, and also for some fork to get fish, this material is widely used. Another is kutian, and its texture is very good. The last one of the 10 is mumian. And we see everywhere this kind of trees. This tree can blossom very beautiful flowers. Saber, actually this tree is called a saber. And this is not very suitable for making furniture. It is very high and upright. And we always use this kind of saber in other application. Another thing is I want to say some of the trees already extinct. The first is for family use. For example, when we were child, we used very large log to hold some rice. We call it sam. But this utensil disappeared. Instead, we see the factory-made, iron-made, a kind of container, bucket. For example, the rice made of raw rock. Cabinets to contain clothes. Nowadays, they are out of sight. Next, some utensils, some tools made of raw log. For example, the tool well, a kind of machine to squeeze sugar cane. This kind of machine appeared in Ming Dynasty, but now it disappeared. And in some rural areas in January, you can see you could see a cow is prolonging this kind of machine, but for most part of the region, this machine is out of sight. So it's very difficult. It's very difficult to get this kind of wooden-made sugarcane squeezing machine, and its appearance is only existing in some museum in Yunnan province. And also the wooden house structure were made of some poles. For example, for the upper layer, it is for human being, and for the down layer, it is for the stocks to live. Now, people live in the structure made of cement and machine made. So for this reinforcer, we seldom use it. And now we do not use any mud to build our houses. So this machine also disappeared. The third tool is a kind of wooden-made irrigator, a kind of water irrigation system. For example, people just took it as the container to get water. So this is a kind of wood container, and now we find its appearance in some museum. For irrigation, for any other functions, we can't see it. For some utensils, they are not here. The fact is, our culture, our wood culture, is transforming great changes and vicissitudes. Now we give up our utensils we used before, and we give up our previous lifestyle. So this is our summary. So we have to think aloud. For the culture, for the transformation of Zhuang wood culture, what is behind it? There are three directions.
I think regarding the change of the timber culture in the Zhuang area, a lot of original forests are being cut off. Therefore, there's a short of supply of timber materials. Just now we mentioned the special wall machine. In fact, the wall is made of mud and earth rather than timber. Actually, for this machinery, the workload is quite heavy. Only the strongest young people can make use of this machine. About 8 to 10 young laborers can make use of this machinery. However, if this wall is made of timber, then the workload is reduced significantly, and in that case, the mud or earth is no longer required for making the wall. The reason is because of the short of the supply of timber. If we pay a visit to Zhuang minority group area, we are going to see that the major logs have been cut off. Currently, there's a short of the supply of the logs or timber materials. Now, back in the 1950s, in this area, it is the major area for the production of special timber. This is the hardest timber material because it cannot be cut off. Therefore, the people are trying to use this timber as the materials that can be burned for some other uses. And this is perhaps due to some political reasons as well. And the second reason is that for our modern industrial products, for example, the plastic products are quite cheap. As far as the plastic products are concerned, they have a trend to replace the timber products because they are very cheap and can be easily obtained from the market, and also the market competitiveness is also higher than that of timber products. Therefore, I think that the market drive is the important momentum or the locomotive for the fluctuation of the timber markets. I know that timber is also related to the cultural factors. However, I think market factors also go hand in hand with cultural factors. And also the people are the decision makers for the tools they use. And they have their own mindsets or minds for the selection of the tools. The consequence of the selection is also very much in line with the current trend of our time. We can't say the selection of a plastic material is not good, and so you should go with the timber materials. We can't say that because it is in the best interest of the Zhuang minority group to make up their decisions themselves. What about the trend of the timber culture in the future? Perhaps I can share with you about the two possibilities. The first one is the fixed trend, and I think the timber culture is going to shrink or it's going to fade away in the future. And also, I think this is related to the free selection. However, I think this is quite dangerous. The cultural shrinkage also means the dissipation of a culture and also the fall of a culture. That means the cultural attribute is also going to be lost. In the sea of history, if Zhuang minority is going to stand out, then the cultural attributes have to be very much maintained. We have to check the shrinkage of Zhuang culture, therefore, to further promote the diversification of Zhuang culture. Currently, the national policy also provided this kind of drive for the further promotion of the Zhuang culture, and our national government and also stipulated some legislations that whoever plants the tree is going to have the ownership of the tree. The purpose is to further promote the forestation of the mountains among the Zhuang minority areas. And in the future, we are going to see more trees are going to be planted in the area where the Zhuang minority reside. I think this is the basic objective of the national policy. This is my personal opinion regarding the timber culture in Zhuang minority areas where I come from. Thank you.